In addition to his other interests, Laird founded the Zerk Foundation, a non-profit organization created after considerable thought, as an appropriate way to give back something extra to the comics world, by providing grants for self-publishers. While Eastman founded Tundra Publishing to embody the ideals of the Creators' Bill of Rights from a publisher's standpoint, Laird's vision involved funding rather than actively publishing individuals' work. His reasoning for this decision was in part simply due to him having far too much to do as it is with Mirage. He preferred to do something where it was more of a transfer of capital, with all the worries on other people's shoulders. The foundation itself, he explains, is actually two foundations in one. One half of it is for charitable organizations, and the other half is for creators who want to self-publish their comics. That later half is perhaps what the foundation is best known for, working much the same as any benevolent fund, involving an applicatory process detailing how much money is being applied for and why. Laird's experience with the Turtles and self-publishing was a learning process that he felt would be very valuable to other people to go through, as well in teaching creators about themselves, about life and about the hard reality of business. He cites the summits he, Eastman, Scott McCloud, Dave Sim and others had, which led directly to the formalizing of the Creators' Bill of Rights, setting out in writing the necessary working arrangements that comics creators felt ought to be met regarding ownership of their work and proper remuneration, etc., and informing his decision to set up the foundation, but also notes that he received many requests for money, necessitating the creation of the Zerk Foundation's charitable and simply to deal with such requests in an organized fashion. Laird recalled that the publication of the first issue of his and Eastman's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic came about thanks to a loan the two secured from Quentin Eastman, Kevin Eastman's uncle. Although the two were able to pay him back swiftly, it led Laird to speculate about what could have been. If we hadn't gotten that loan from him at that point in our lives, it might have taken us a couple more months to raise that money from other sources, and who knows what might have happened differently as a result of that delay. It occurred to him that there must be so many times where a self-publishing venture can sink or float on the strength of a relatively small amount of money, so he felt a desire to use some of his good fortune, in the financial sense, to help people out, and, in addition to the creators, the foundation also aids those involved in charitable organizations. The naming of the foundation originated out of the Scrabble game with Laird's brother Don, Zerek, simply being a word he liked, ostensibly meaning dry and desert-like, but which ultimately has absolutely no direct connection with the foundation. The creative side of the foundation involves the usual application process. But in addition, the foundation began with an advisory committee made up of 3 people working in the industry, whose input is sought on how best to proceed with each application. Submissions are evaluated prior to Laird's involvement, and then he makes the ultimate decisions based on their recommendations. Laird stated in 1993 that, knock on wood, God willing, and the creek don't rise, if we go on for another couple of decades, and I'm able to put more money into the basic funding of the Zerk Foundation, then the amount of money that can be given out can really be raised significantly. He hoped that ultimately the figure can be raised from thousands of dollars to hundreds of thousands of dollars to support an increasing number of large and small projects.